Coding ritual? How do I fix this stuff? I don't know how to fix some of this stuff. I don't know that I have. This isn't on. This is over here. It shouldn't be. Close that. Trying to get. This is on the wrong monitor. Ugh, this is gonna screw me up. Oh well. Brosif. Wait a minute. I guess I suddenly just fixed it. That was weird. Okay. So we were working on some things here. I wanted to spend a little bit of time today messing around with looking at Google Fonts. And so we'll do that. I thought doing something with a serif would be interesting. Not cursive though. This is going to be tough. Hang on a second. I'm hearing something weird outside. This is kind of a good, something like this is a good middle ground where it's serif, but it's not like stone cutting or wood carving style or typesetting. Or this is closer to typesetting. I don't like the spacing on this one though. But it's interesting. The C's here have this really interesting little curl to them. I'm just not a fan of this G style, personally. I mean, it has like a little antenna on it. There has to be a reason that was that way back in the day. Who knows what it was? What is the license? Font design and creation. That's cool. I got to come up with a system for crediting and things like that. I think Kenny has something too that I can use that kind of works with my style as well. Fantasy UI borders. I might want to use these cursors for the editor when I'm in the edit mode. All right. Okay. Pull that stuff in. So we've got I kind of left things yesterday on the updating, and I think I have something better that I could do for it. How's your D&D game sessions going, Lunesta? All right, back to the editor stuff. Now that we did that, just moving the needles in different spots. One bourbon, one scotch, one beer, and one crack rock for dessert. Jesus. With Amber starting the business, I had to adjust. Understood. All right. I'm going to do something drastic here. Hey. I wasn't on. I was away this whole time. I was on the away screen. Sorry about that, guys. So I'm trying to decide. There's the room position. Get room local position from global position. I'll be right back. Oh, damn, Lunesta. Nice job. All right. We're going to change this. That's how cell type at local position. Okay. Get room. Get cell. Get room cell local position. These fucking names is fucking horrible. Oh my god. Global position floor. That gives us a solid number for the room position that we're consistently working off of. So it would really be room position times room size plus local position. That should be what we're setting the cell to. That gets the room position. We'll see. Like a bunch of stuff is going to be busted right now, right? None of this is going to run. Or it will. Okay, we're still setting blocks. Let's see if we can set below. No. Nathir, how's it going?
Just be yourself. Be yourself. Be yourself. Be yourself.
So you're just an old hacker like me, but disguised as an idiot.
You okay, guys?
Fartality.
God, I fucking hate this. I hate what I've done. Let me rethink this. How much time is wasted?
Fartality. Fartality.
How about we use assertions to cover our backs? Instead of this return true and return false stuff.
Fartality. Fartality.
Assert. Is that even an assertion we would want to make? God, this is shit. So what happens when you wrap a number? Because this is where everything could be going wrong. Let's say it's negative 0.3. I'll be right back, guys. Ba, 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 ba. So we got 0 for the rap test. Let's try -1. Or something a little higher. Zero. Then I got 15. Okay. The issue. Hmm. It's not enough to do. If it's let's try negative. And we'll do 0.3 again. Can we do...
Oh, that's cool.
Cool?
Yeah, cool.
You think it's cool?
It's cool.
It's not cool.
M, thanks for the raid. Bunch of stuff is broken right now. I can show you a little bit of the new look, I guess. It's all a work in progress. We're trying to get there's a little bit of a bug with the room editor stuff that I'm trying to square. And so if you'll excuse me. Doesn't that just mean you're game devin? 9, I guess so. Cat Pipes, what's up? 5, Scott, how's it going? Scott 5, how you doing? Rodrigo, hope you're doing good. So we're working on, I'm doing the whole PlayStation 1. I'm not doing like the polygon warping or anything like that, but I'm messing around with the color palette being shrunk down to a degree where we have to dither. And so, kind of messing around with like what that looks like. So we got like these are the God rays coming in through here, and I like the look. I think it brings a lot of texture to the game that wasn't there before. And then we have the biome stuff going. And then whoops, sorry, I screwed up the camera movement. So that's looking good. But yeah, so right now it's just kind of an issue with negative numbers where I have to translate a global coordinate into local space for the room position that's consistent.
What the dog doing?
And so we're going from that. Local space is good vibes only. That's what we want. We want them sweet local space numbers. But when we have negative global space coordinates, it flips. We don't want that. That's bad. That's bad. That's good. So trying to figure out a way to flip this that works with negative numbers. So that works. So if we do 31, we get 15, which is accurate. And what happens if I get negative 16? We get 15. Okay, what about 17? Room size is 16 by 16. 17 should flip it over to... Now suddenly we're 30. Whoa. I think my chair just broke. Well, M, thank you for the raid. Let me do a shout out for M. M Audio's doing working on a cool game right now. It's on Steam. You guys can play test it with a special access. I don't think there's the demo is not on Steam, right? Or is it? I don't know if I'm using a playtest or a demo. God, this is throwing me for a loop. If I absolute the number, we're upside down. So, would it be... This is literally the problem right here. Something like that. Pause flips it. Returns the integer modulus divided by y that wraps equally a positive and negative. Pause. So if I is 3, we get 0. So that's not quite what I want, because I want... Because we start the coordinate space at the bottom of the room. So I need to be wrapped around 0 to 16 inclusive. And if it's, so if the number is like -1, that would actually need to be, actually, if it's like less than or greater than -1, but not greater than 0, obviously, then it would need to be 0. If it's -1, it would need to be 1, and so on. Or if it was, sorry, if it was less than negative, if it was greater than -1, less than 0, so in between, so some fraction of a negative number, it would have to be 15. And then if it was -1, it would be 14. That kind of thing. And we would wrap that. So maybe if I think about it from wrapping the negative number on its own and then cleaning it up after that, I could get there. Oh, everything's broken right now, Minnie. So if we all right. So we would want to wrap 16 around room size. So let's get that working. Negative room size. Think I might have just killed my sunflower. How'd you do that? So now we're at 0. What happens if I'm at 15? Then we can become -15. What the fuck? Negative room size. And if we wrap it with a positive number, inclusive, now suddenly 15 is 1. $16 is 0. Okay, that's what we want. So then if it's something like -1, then it says it's 15. If it's less than that, then it becomes 0, which is the problem. So if I am 0.7, we should be 15, but then we become 0. So there's our problem. So if we floored that number, what kind of problems would that introduce? So if we floor it, we're 15. If I'm 0.3 and we floor it, we're 15. Okay. But then what happens if we're... Okay, so if we floor it and I'm 16, we should be 0, right? Okay. I think that's it then. I guess we just floor it. Okay. I know we reached that conclusion yesterday. I guess I had to just wrap my brain around it and reach it again. So if I floor the number first, and then we do this, we get something closer to the truth. So global position equals global position floor. We just floor the number. I'm going to ask the dumb questions, but is it useful to have an absolute 0? Or is minus okay? Well, minus is the problem. I could just cheat and put the whole world in positive, like really high up somewhere so we never hit negative numbers, but I kind of want to conquer this problem. I'd like the world coordinates to, like, the main area to start at 0, 0 in the global space. Right now when it wraps, it ends up drawing above us. So like if I float out here, oops. If I float over here, go under here to like lay a brick out, it ends up going up to, it wraps around the room above it from the negative. So, and there's a bunch of things I've been rewriting. I'm in the middle of rewriting too that, a lot of stuff I've just broken. This is how you get rated, is you basically are in the middle of like a deep refactor, and then you just hose everything, and then that's how you do it. That's how you do it, boys. So flooring, and I think that just gets us what we want. Let's see what happens when we try to set the cell now. So again, the positive numbers are fine. It's wrong. Is the problem the way you snap integers? It doesn't agree with negative numbers. I think there's I think there's a couple of things going on. So this might be an issue that our room position is actually wrong. See, it's setting them up here. You see this? So it's wrapped around to this room even though we were in negative numbers. So it's putting it in this room container. So to show you, if I go down here and I'm at negative less than 0, my monitor just shut off. Okay, we're fine. Then I go up. This is the block that I just set. It's right here. You have world space, room space, and you're transferring them. Well, yeah, I know that that's what's wrong, because that's what I'm describing is wrong, right? To avoid, this is for my benefit. Yeah, no, so, I mean, that's what's wrong. I'm gonna check now. Let's check now. So we have create. Okay, so if I set here, right here, it says to set a room for room 625, 625. If I set it here, it says 625, 625. So our first problem is that our get room position is getting us the wrong value. Even if I go lower than... So if I go lower here, it's still 625. Which is just completely wrong. We're at -5 right now. So the way we get our room position is we give a global position here, and then we make it into a vec3i, and we floor global position divided by room size. Now, what happens when we divide a negative number? Yeah, it makes it a little weird. It makes it a little weird. Quantize is a fancy word. I just call it snapping. But, so if we're flooring, it should be a negative number. Why am I getting back room position? Why are we getting 0? Now, does this have something to do with our division here by room size, which is a positive number? So if I take, let's just open up a calculator. If I take -5 and I divide by 16, well, that's not right. What happens if I... So, okay, hang on a second. No, it should still get floored. Wait a minute. We want to do the division first and then floor it. So this is weird because it still has to be a Vec 3. So we do the division first and then we floor. But why would that matter? Okay, let's just try that. There we go. We got it. That was it. Oh my fucking god. Oh my god. Okay. We did it. Holy smokes, that was a brain teaser right there. Now, can we still set blocks here in higher bounds? Yes, but strangely we can't set. Oh yeah, we can set them here too. Okay. Should still be negative. Yeah, but we were flooring it. So I'm taking the global position, dividing by room size, and then I'm flooring that result instead of taking the global position, flooring it, and then dividing by room size. I don't know why that's fixed it. For a brief moment in my brain, it made sense. But now that I'm there looking at it, I'm not sure why that works. But it definitely, there's a problem with the numbers between -1 and 0, where that's just off. So, or that was just off. And here, see, I floor before I do the wrapping too on the room position. Right. There is something weird with Godot flooring, though, too. Flooring is weird with Godot. What is the most common word said by streamers? For me, it's probably Okay, so now that we've done that, we've got a little bit of work still in front of us. We've got to the clearing block stuff we have to update. Clear cell local position. That works. Set block. Now does the getting stuff work? Block exists at global position. Are we even using that anymore? Because that looks wrong. I can tell you that. This just looks wrong. Huh. Room cell. Oh, that's weird. Oh, we're checking to see if the room exists first, and then we're checking to see if the block exists. Okay. Blocks at position. Room resource. Get cell at local position. So this is wrong now. We have this thing called local position. At position should be renamed to start position. So we've probably broken some other stuff just fixing this, weirdly enough. But get cell at local position. We're sending a global position. We don't want to do that.
Huh?
Var local position vector 3 I equals get room photos global position and local position. Okay. There's already a variable named local position. This is true, which is confusing.
Huh?
So we're going through each range.
Huh?
Get blocks within position with size.
Huh?
Mini.
Huh?
Okay, Mini.
Huh? Huh?
So it's not really local position. This is just... It's really current position. It's actually not even that. It's relative position. Okay. So global, local position we're grabbing here, and then we're getting cell ID from the room resource, and then returning that. Okay. There's probably some stuff that's busted here. Let's see if we can build the rooms. So we're going to see if we can bake those blocks that I just set down here and see if they show up. Everything might just disappear. If anything's off, this whole thing could just vanish. And it's already seemingly taking too long. So that's not a good sign. Okay, we don't see it. Whoa. We do have a bunch of blocks just going up for seemingly no reason. Let's see if we can clear this out and then get back to the other stuff. Got all these little bastards hanging out around here. Okay, build again. Builds are suddenly taking a long time. Look at that, I didn't get rid of those other guys. So I suspect we've still got some issues. Says it's saving the resource. Did you see the bad guy just went off the edge? He just went flying off the edge. So now it's still wrong. Let's delete this stuff. Here, we're gonna flush out. Man, so much of this is so jank still. It's jank, but it's our jank. We're doing all this way because we can't edit the game in grid map. Also, grid map has all these issues in Godot. You lose occlusion culling doesn't work the way you want it to, or me. And then also light masking is no joy. So there's certain things I want to do with lighting in the game that it does not like. So again, I am for sure. Oh. There's no way. This is weird. I don't even hear it. Yeah, that everyone's hearing that, Minnie, so let me be right back. Let me see. It's okay, Minnie. You're new to all of this stuff, anyways. I suspect what might be happening. Okay, I think I know what's happening with that. With those blocks we can't get rid of. Those are off from the other room. I bet that's what it is. So if we look at the map, the set of our rooms here, we have these negative ones. Let's delete them. So we'll flush them out. We'll build the rooms again. I bet those blocks are going to go away. Nope. No joy. So clearing blocks. We can add blocks, but we can't clear. So clearing blocks is just trying to clear blocks. Clear cell at global position. There is no clear cell. There is no clear cell at global position. How is this not returning an error? Oh, with size. Look at this. Ah, this is it right here. Here's the problem. It's trying to... I can't really explain without getting into details. But our starting room has a special name. It's trying to save it to the wrong path. So I think just resource room save. Alright, let's try it now. Rebuild the room. Run it. Yeah, a little bit of refactoring here is throwing me for a loop. And it doesn't help that I didn't get to finish it in one session. And that I'm doing it at night, which is when I'm the most, like, out of it. So that definitely plays a role in the fuzzy nature of my... There we go. Okay, so to explain, each of the maps the resource map has an array of resource rooms that are saved locally into the Godot project. But we're in starting room. When we were clearing cells, we were only saving at a path generated from our position. But the resource already exists with its name, so we just run save on it instead. So it saves the one that's being referenced. Oh, I'm not on my scene, my home scene. There we go. Why is the BRB? I don't know, Woogie. I don't know. So that's what was going on there. So now let's try and figure out why the negative numbers, even though we are creating the room and we are now able to place the block, why dost it not saveth the room? So I just set self for room -1 from position. Block updated. Save. Okay. So let's look at that room. There it goes again. How about when we build the rooms out, we set the name of the room. That way I can figure out the global position for the room, because I'm guessing something about that is wrong. Is var to string no longer something that exists? I knew it used to be the number 2, which was embarrassing that they would do that. Isn't there a var to? Am I crazy that there's a var to string? There's a var to string, right? Oh, var _2 string. There we go. Okay, let's delete. So I suspect what I'm trying to troubleshoot right now is I suspect that the global position of the room placement on the scene is wrong. So we're going to get the room names to be their actual room coordinates in Vec3. And so we'll rebuild this entire thing. And then we'll go from there. And my sounds just aren't even firing right now. Are you guys hearing the text messages or anything? I don't hear none of it. So 626 negative 1 625. So it is not correctly adding the man, this whole process has been like fix one thing, break half a dozen of another. But it's all for a single source of truth and trying to get this to a point where it's very accurate. Oh yeah, I hear it now too. Minnie, how you doing today? How was today for you, Minnie? Did you have a good day, sweetie? Minnie, why don't you come in here and tell everybody what we're working on together, even though we haven't been able to spend much time on it? Is this Matt? Is this for we're name brothers, by the way, Matt. So when I say your name, I say my name. Matt. Matt. But we are Legion. Is you GUI like MGUI? Are you talking about immediate mode? And is this to replace Godot's? To not have to use Godot's system? Hey. Now I'm using Unity. So UGUI is Unity's MGUI. Dude, it's so nice. Immediate mode GUI's so much better, dude. It's so much better. All this claims about performance, don't even listen. That's again, the very people who are like, "Oh, you don't have to think about performance, don't worry about performance until you need to." The argument that they'll give for not using immediate mode is performance, which is really funny, but whatever. So what are we working on together? Tell everybody. Stand here and tell them. Game. What's in the game? What are we doing in the game? Farming. Yeah. Yep, we're working on it. I'm gonna next time we do it together on the stream, sweetie, I'll try and integrate your graphics into it. Okay. Because you did all that work, all your sprite work. We got to show it on the stream. So when Minnie and I work together, you'll have my screen is on the left side and her screen is on the right side, and then we're on the bottom. And so that's how those streams work out. She's on Mac. We got her one of those new MacBooks, the MacBook Neo. Then they go use Chromium in the runtime. I just dislike how GUI does their layout. The new Nanos. They're called Neo, I think. Yeah. MacBook Neo. And my wife's amazing deal on her laptop got canceled. And that's my fault because I just mentioned it. I shouldn't have mentioned it. I was texting her today about that. She was so confused. She's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, well, I talked about it. And she's like, what? I'm like, because I talked about it, it didn't happen. But she found a really good deal on HP's website. It was a glitch, and it was like a crazy good laptop for $112. And then they canceled the order, which I think is nonsense. But whatever. All right. Well, I'm gonna get back to work. But it is bedtime for you. So hang on. I'll give you. Uh, all right. I'll be right back, guys. I gotta go. I'm gonna grab some cheese puffs. I'm feeling a little cheese puffian. You know, the way you eat cheese puffs on a stream is either with chopsticks or a spoon. I'll be right back. Sorry for the delay. Back again. Got my cheese puffs. Got my son's shark chopsticks. It's a lovely combination. So let's try setting a cell. Save those two scenes. If we build the rooms now. Okay. Importantly, when we go to set this brick below here, we should see a room get created. And we don't. So this has something to do with how do we check if a room exists? We check here in the array for resource room. Well, that's confusing. It's not there. Let's clear it out again. Oh, I'm not deleting it from there. It would be in here. Oh, snap. Okay. I think I know. I think I know another reason why this is happening. Okay. This is all fine. This is good. We're good. I promise this is good stuff to be dealing with. Okay, I think I know what's going on now. I think I know why it's not building into the baking. Sorry for the crunchy noise in the ear. Maybe I should mute myself for a bit while I enjoy my cheese puffs of happiness. This is the only pleasure I have in my life is my cheese puffs.
That's cool.
Big boy games. Can you take away
You think
the
it's
pain?
cool? It's cool. It's not
Give me
cool.
a shout out. Big Boy Games official. Super official. Let me see what you were up to. Thank you for the raid. Welcome in, everybody. We're trying to work on a Metroidvania, seeing how it's going. Let's check it out.
And actually do stuff now.
Damn it.
W, it applies the filter to everything equally.
I'm already envious, Big Boy, just because I know that you can grow a better beard than me if you wanted to, and I hate your guts. So you can get screwed. I'm kidding, of course, but damn it.
We've got
Ooh,
grunge.
is this like a fictional language? Is this your fictional language? Did you do like an Zelda font thing going on here? What is this?
Normal. I don't want that.
Galactic alphabet. I didn't make it, but it's pretty nice for stuff like that. Nice. Standard
Things
galactic.
through walls and. Oh god. Oh god. So float vertex. Color is equal to speed.
Jesus, right in your
I don't know why
shaders.
small
Get the hell out of here.
Backblaze has finished update iterations
Let me show
and
you
stuff.
what's going on
and
with what I got
just
going on here. Excellent
getting
work.
to the spot, like trying
I
to
hate
figure
you.
out exactly.
I just broke everything, so I don't even know if I can show you anything right now, actually. We're in the middle of a major refactor. That's the trick to getting rated. You gotta... Two ways you get rated. You walk away, right? Or you break everything. And then, boop, you get rated. Okay. I'm going to show you guys a little bit about what's going on here. Right when an ad starts. Oh, yeah. So I'm working on a Metroidvania. I started doing Metroidvania month, and then I didn't like the themes. But I wanted to keep working on it. So we're using Minecraft-style blocks. We have an in-game editor, and right now that's what I'm working on. It's a little janked, and I'm trying to fix some issues with negative numbers, particularly. We have this little special shovel that we can throw, and we're doing sort of the pixelated, chonky PS1 style stuff. And then we do have some enemies. So these little, this is what happens when you go around a special thing. The camera will pan around. And then we have our enemies here. And we can get hurt. And then we can hit them with our shovel, our shovelet. And so they can bounce towards us. They're not really threatening right now. So maybe either I'll do something to the player or to the enemy to make it a little more dangerous. But then we can throw the shovel, or we miss. We can try and throw the shovel at them. And then they drop meat, and then we get our health back up. We're thinking about doing, for this kind of Metroidvania, we're going to be more Metroid than Vania. Yeah! It's going to be more Metroid than Vania. We're going to, yeah. So we have the in-game editor. It's a lot like create mode in Minecraft, where you can just walk around and like delete and add blocks. You can cycle through your blocks and just add a block somewhere. But yeah, so negative numbers. So we're trying to fix some things with that. So I was just working on it. So we're kind of hoping that we see room created when I set a block. We don't need to do this. Oh, this is wrong. So this is why. This is why it's not doing it. Okay. I understand now. I understand. Are you using grid map for all the tiles on this or some other kind of custom? So initially I was using grid maps. I could try and show you copy and paste. I have like a marquee. I just didn't. Grid maps in Godot, it's just not the right way for what I needed. So I was using grid maps initially. I was making it so you could edit a grid map. And so part of the reason why everything's kind of slowing down is because I went away from grid maps because, and even though everything I'm doing kind of acts like a grid map, it's basically the same thing, right? It's just that grid maps, they have a few issues. One is occlusion culling. you kind of have to roll your own thing with it. The other thing is that you lose all light masking with grid maps. It's all masked to 0. And so there's some things with lighting and stuff that I want to do with like masking lights and things like that on a per room basis for like biome specific feels and things. And so in order to do that, I needed to free myself from grid maps entirely. And so, yeah, initially we were using grid maps and then we've pulled away from it. And the other thing we have is, and I am hesitant to show it right now because I'm in the middle of refactoring some stuff, but I'll give it a shot, is we have this lasso tool. So in the editor, if I go back to the editor here and I just say, go to the lasso and I select some of this here, I can cut, copy, and paste segments of the world. I'm going to try cut. And it broke. Okay. You have to believe me. It works. I'm just in the middle of a refactor, okay? But you can cut, copy, and paste by selecting a range of blocks. And then you just sort of carry them around and plop them where you want them. And eventually I'll have like rotation, right? So you'll be able to rotate it 90 degrees one way and 90 degrees the other way if you're so inclined. So that should hopefully make editing a little bit easier. Also, another reason why I didn't want to use grid maps and I needed an in-room editor or an in-game editor and not the grid map stuff is because we're going to have a lot of dungeons and being trapped, trying to edit in a grid map from, like, you have to like move the camera in, and it's just an awful experience to try and edit that way. And when, because the grid map will contain it all and you can't see inside of it, and so anyway, so being able to be in the game and move around, and you can go from the editor to the player controller and back again real easy. So we'll be able to, at any moment in the game as we're working on it, we'll be able to be like, you know what? I want this to be like this or whatever. And it's basically, Minecraft style blocks. So we're not going to be using Minecraft. It's not going to be like you collect things that drop from blocks and then you craft things. None of that's going to be in the game, right? We're still going to be Metroidvania. It's just that it's just kind of a design choice because I just don't have the chops to do modeling and all that. So we're just trying to find a way to get to something that I can actually release a game for. It's better suited for more static levels and environments than something dynamic. Yeah, that's another reason why too. So, but also there seems to be some performance issues with it as well. But with this solution, I don't have it enabled yet, but every room is wrapped in an occluder. And then we have to bake our own occlusion, which is a whole nother thing because we can't use Godot's. Although we might be able to because I am baking the rooms. But anyways, so, we can include stuff that's blocked or cull stuff that's blocked. And then on top of that, we'll be able to, I'm not doing it yet, but my plan is to basically have some maximum block count in a general amount. And as you're moving around in the world, only those blocks in a certain area around you need to exist, right? So, but I'm not going to worry about any of that just yet. But that way we can keep the scene tree not as busy with the entire game world's like nodes, right? But it'll still exist as though it was there, right? So anyways, and part of that's just through the design of the world is not going to be like a massive, panorama of an area or anything like that. We're not going to have that in this. So anyways, oh yeah, so the room saving thing. So the reason that was happening came to me, and then I just forgot. Oh, I saw it right there. It's the fact that we're checking for the room by using the global position. Get room from global position. Global position. And that's problematic because it's not doing this. And this is the magic that we need. Get room from global position. Right here. So we're going to go get room position from global position. That's a mouthful. Let's get rid of room size up here. Did that break anything? No. Okay, let's see if that fixes it. That little line there. And we'll go here and resource map 43 craps the bed. And non-existent function. Set block type at position. The hell are you talking about? What? Oh, set cell type at local position. Local. We got it. That's actually all the evidence I need to know that this is going to work now. Okay, so this block is now negative. Let's just do a big shaft here. And then you know what? We'll have some little we'll have a little bit of a bulge to our make some sort of bulge to our shaft. That looks good. It goes up into there. Okay. Now if we bake it, let's just confirm. Look at that. Negative numbers, baby. Okay. So, other stuff is broken. Why are we getting room cell here if we're not going to use it? Clear block at position. Local position. Let's confirm that works. Ooh, okay, that's off by 1. That's weird though, right? Why is it off by 1? What am I sending from the editor controller to clear block? Marquee global position. What? Ah. We don't want that. So we get rid of this, and so we're using signals to go to the game code to say this thing has changed, do something about it. So we have block removed. So that's the signal we want to send out now instead of doing a manual clear. So actually, I should probably go back over here and make sure that anything that says remove block. Okay. Good, and go back here. There's a lot of repetition happening here. So we don't need type. All right. Let's bake what we've done here, because we've gotten rid of some stuff. Okay. That was way faster. That's a good sign. Okay. And remove. There we go. So now we can remove by hand some of these. Fairly simple. Good. So we're almost back in the game, boys. Is the game done yet? Irad, no. You'll know I'm cooking if what it looks like I'm doing is playing Minecraft. If it looks like I'm in create mode in Minecraft most of the time when I'm streaming, I'm cooking. That's going to be most of the game development. Is I could do this, right? I can build a thing in Minecraft. I've done it before. I've done it for hours. So I could do that, right? So it's like, okay, well then can we turn that into how we design the levels of a game? And it's like, yes, actually, yes, we totally can. Okay. Okay. So now let's get the marquee tool working better. But first, my daughter is in bed, and bedtime is I assume she's in bed. Is that correct? I've got to go lecture my daughter about bedtime. I'll be right back. Sorrow. How you doing? All right, let's see if we can get the marquee cut and paste working again. Not quite sure what happened there. I think it might be a combination of being in two different rooms for the cut. Let me try pasting that there. Okay, so that worked. So the cut did something weird. Let's build it and see what it looks like, if it matches what we saw. Yeah. Okay. Well, so we have a weird bug. Again, it looks like a wrapping issue. Some sort of wrapping issue. Yeah, we got the negative stuff worked out. So I had to floor it first after I did the math. So I scaled to the room size and then we floor. And then that's how we got that working. So I thought it was going to be really crazy math, but it's not at all. It would be nice to be able to roll back a room easily. So maybe what I should do is, because actually you could do that fairly easily just using Git. If I could just look around and see the room ID. So like if I'm in here and it just printed the room ID for me somewhere, right? And then it's like, oh, this one was screwed up. So what room ID is that? And what room ID is this? And then I can just go into Git and I'll see that that map has been changed. That room has been changed and I can just discard the changes, right? Just roll it back that way. It'd be pretty easy, right? And actually having it split up into rooms. This code looks a whole lot like Minecraft. The actual code does. That's wild. I'm Notch. I am become Notch. Minecraft was a jam game, everybody. Minecraft started as a jam game. The streams, Notch's streams of the jam are on YouTube. How many times have I been serious? I don't know. Mr. Serious Pants. Okay. So I can cut and paste. Oh, I didn't bake. Oh, whoops. And I think once we get the hot loading thing going on, or the pulling for the rooms, the whole needing to bake anything just goes away. So what that means is that we do get an initial load time from like loading a save. There would be a brief moment of loading, but then after that, there wouldn't be any more. So it's a compromise. So if I take this and I cut, see, that's the other weird thing. When you cut, it kind of just stamps, it puts it in a little bit of a, I need to be able to, what I need to be able to do when you cut and move something is that you just sort of leave it there. You see the marquee where it is, you can move around the marquee and then you can grab it again and move it if you feel like you need to. So the pasting is working fine. So we have an issue when we cut from two different rooms. We ended up with with some bad like it split it up in a weird way. So it's not urgent for me right now. I'm gonna throw that on the known bugs. But now we can do negatives. So we got negatives going, which is great news. So we can do negatives. Another thing that we would want to do with the editor eventually is the ability to extrude. Like I was saying, extrusion would be nice. Fill would be nice. It'd be nice to be able to select like a region and fill. So some of that stuff will come later. I'm not going to worry about it too much. I think I'm back to a good point here. So Friday is looking good for just getting back to cooking and trying out some ideas with some of the design. I think what I'm going to do for playtesting reasons, so that I have something to give playtesters that's not, here's a game, try and play it. Because I'm not ready for that in any way. And so I don't want a bunch of feedback on, oh, you know, the world is empty and I can fall off the edge and, you know, stuff like that. So I think what I'm going to do is we'll spend some time building playgrounds, just like a gym, for abilities. And I'll just create a couple of abilities that have been in my mind. And we'll make a gym for people to play around in with those abilities. And then my focus on the first round of playtesting in that regard would be, like, first of all, does the game graphically, does it run okay on your computer, that kind of stuff. And then also just like, what do you think about these things? That kind of stuff, right? So I think that'll be my first approach. And then maybe we'll have, like, we'll throw some enemies in that you can kind of, maybe we can have it, I'll have it where you can push a button or go to a specific block to reset the enemies so you can play around with killing them and stuff. And then I guess that means we need a bunch of things, though, because if you can dying, we kind of need something, how we're going to do dying and what does that look like and so on. So being able to handle that would be good. So I guess I can start to put some... Man, I love the dithering, though. God, that's so cool. And just look at the... I can't get over the lighting coming, like, the shafts coming through here. It's beautiful. That's so cool. Like, getting through here and then getting blown out. Sweet. I thought you meant the code, like, you saw some code, you know, like, no, that's literally the same line of code in the Minecraft source. I would have been like, damn. Wow. That's cool. Okay. Let's write down some things to do. So use signals from resource map to set and delete blocks in the game world. That's what we've got done here. Let's go ahead and commit what we did. Fonts and UI assets. Map changes. Using signals for block updates. Standard block position. For consistency. Okay. We did it. It only took us 2 nights. So like maybe what? I don't know how long. Actually, don't know how long these nightly streams go. Looks like maybe 4 hours total. That was a weird set of problems. It had a lot to do with floats, and it had a lot. It just was like a lot of like weird, just like weirdness. But that's good. Okay. Now, what were we saying, Jim? So playtest goal. Playground to try abilities in. Okay, playtest 1. So that would be the main thing, is to have a playground for the player. So that's the main thing we're trying to get to. This should say bake, not back. So all this stuff we kind of need, actually. Turkey legs to restore health. We did that. Golden apples to increase. Oh no, this is oh yeah, potions to yep, we did that. Light mass per biome. This is not necessary for our playtest. Slime enemies need to follow player. We did that. Add 2 more enemies. Let's throw that below the playtest. Fix map using new room system. That's not ready. And this is not necessary. We're going to disable the map for now. We're not going to have that during the playtest. Marquee delete is not in yet. Which it's easy, but I was so focused on the other stuff that I haven't put it in. Customizable fog volume per room. We're going to get rid of that, but that will be cool. We definitely want that. Bake rooms in a room scene that is instantiated. So we're not going to do that for the playtest. Okay, so let's put, this is not an action item. Create 2 more unique abilities for playtest. And let's do hashtag playtest 1 or just playtest. Okay. So these are all man, the town halls at American what's that place called? American Fork or whatever? They're it's really sad to see people realize that their local government is basically like colluding with a small group of select people, and they're realizing that their town is about to, oh man, they can't even, their taxes are going to go up so much just to pay for the suit. It doesn't sound like they have insurance for that kind of stuff. So I don't know if the town's not incorporated. I couldn't believe that if that were true. Ugh. But maybe it's not. I don't know. Seems like something you would do. Generally have some sort of insurance for payouts and stuff. But crazy. All right, everybody. Let's call it tonight. 20 of you hanging out in the middle of the night. What the hell is going on? What the hell? Thank you so much. Thank you for the raids today. M Audio, thank you. Justin Helps, I hope you're doing good. Big Boy Games Official, thank you for the raid. Medusa with the 30 stream streak. Holy shit. Irad, much love to you always. Let me do a shout out to Irad before we leave. Irad is just the best guy. The most streamiest streamer there was. Little Italy? No, not Little Italy. He's the Italian stallion. Get it straight. Don't get it twisted. Matt D, thanks for your help. What else? Is there anybody else we need to give shout outs to? Nine Kois, if that's how you say it. Thank you for coming in. Thanks for asking the dumb questions. Scott, thanks for being here. Rodrigo. Lunesta, Growling Octopus. Nathir. Sorrow. All the colors of the rainbow. Let's find somebody to raid out on. We could do Aria again. Project Dress Up. She looks like she's making a dress up game. Oh, my daughter would like that. Jampley, that's it. That's the plan. I was about to raid out. Jampley, wait, I'm not following you. Let me do that. How is that possible? Looks like you're starting to stream. Or have you been streaming? Hope you did better than I did. I simply gave up. Same.
Who taught you how to do this stuff?
You, all right? I learned it by watching you.
Thanks for the follow, Jampley. No, yeah, I gave up too, but I'm still going to keep working on this thing. I might try and see what the next theme is for next time. I just couldn't jive with the theme this time around. I just couldn't think of anything. I don't know. Something about it was like not conducive to my creativity. Not that I'm the most creative person on the planet, but so I unfollow and follow people. I do the same. Sometimes I'll follow somebody and they'll change what they're streaming. And then I'll unfollow them because I'm like, what? Why am I following this person? Yeah, let's do Aria again. We'll do another Aria raid. Aria is always working on cool stuff. And looks like she's starting a new project up. She does all kinds of stuff. She does game dev. She does tutorials. Plays games. Oh, you mean a streamer? Yeah. Looks like she's starting a new project, so that'll be cool. Much love to everybody out there. I will see you guys maybe tomorrow night, and for sure Friday. So, see you guys then. Much love. Bye-bye.